What's going on, folks? We got a big storm here in Atlanta. So my clubs came in. My dimensionally fit, proportionally fit clubs came in. Avion Redbird 335 blades with the Oban CT 125 shaft, the Golf Pride MCC grip, stiff flex shaft. If you know anything about Oban, Shimano, Oban, these things are high tolerance shaft. I mean, they are industry standards. No joke. No joke. So what I want to talk about, say you got your new clubs in, your dimensionally fit, proportionally fit clubs in, and what are you going to do? Well, what I don't want you to do is go out there and try to see how far you can hit your clubs, because now your clubs are actually fit for your proportion, for your size and whatnot. So I want you to start by taking small, traditional swings, 70, 80% power, and just find out what flaw you've been covering up. There's going to be a learning curve when you go to a dimensionally fit set of clubs. Everybody should tell you that, because now you're actually playing with clubs that are fit for your dimensions. They fit for your proportions. If you have a big old gut, you know, there's a different angle that's going to come back in the algorithm that's going to allow you to get around your gut. If your hands are longer, your wrists, your fingers are longer, all that is put into the data and comes back with a club that is fit for you. So when you go out and play, you're thinking about this. You know, if you've been playing golf for a while, you've been playing with ill-fitted clubs. You know, even if you say you've been fitted, I guarantee they've been ill-fitted clubs. They've been fit for a flaw. So what happens now is you've learned to play a club that is fit for a flaw. Now you're playing a club that is actually fit for you. So you're gonna have a learning curve. Remember that the golf swing, the way I teach it, it has three sources of power. We have what we call vertical power. That's what we're doing, applying to the ground, and the reaction that comes back. They call it ground force reaction. And the reason why is because we can actually measure the reaction. Then we have what we call rotational power, the unit term, self-explanatory, right? Get that shoulder underneath the chin, get that shoulder underneath the chin. Let's just simplify it. And then we have what we call lateral power. Think about if you was on if you had a wall on your target side, and what you're gonna do on the downswing, when the hands are going still to the top, you already cracked that wall, crack. And that wall gets a crack in it. That's that lateral power that we're talking about. We're not talking about spinning the hips out. We're talking about just getting the pressure laterally to the target side, and then vertical thrust through the strike zone. So what we found out is that everybody does one of those power sources extremely well, but most amateurs are lacking in two of them. Pros will do two of them extremely well, and usually is lacking in one of them. So what you need to do is start working on which one that you're lacking in. If you're already really good with rotation, why are you spending all your time on a training session with rotation and you're not getting no lateral motion? In the golf swing, the top players in the world, both male and female, all across the world, lateral motion, they're laterally moving anywhere from 3 to 7 inches. Laterally moving, okay? Vertically, vertically, right? You put a box around your head, the average is 2 to 6 inches that you're dropping down from address to when you hit the ball. It's a 2 to 6 degree change in your horizontal, your vertical, right? I think it's very vertical. And then rotationally, the pro and the amateur gets pretty even in the backswing, but the pro in the forward swing is turning almost 40% more. That unit turn, that torso is turning about 40% more through the strike zone. So again, ask yourself which one you need to work on. Your dimensionally fit, proportionally fit clubs are going to train you to start using those forces. And you're going to have some odd, quirky shots because you're accustomed to playing clubs that was built to mimic one of your flaws up. Now you're playing clubs that are actually proportionally fit for you. So what I recommend, come out and don't try to hit the ball really far. Just try to make some basic swings. Smooth it out there. Just get accustomed to what the club feels like. The club may have a different sole on it. The club may be a different shape of a head. It can have different weight on it. And you have to get accustomed to that, right? You know, so just get used to it again. Look at your numbers. Face was a little closed on that. Ain't worry about that right now. First swing of the day. There we go. And I'm just getting accustomed to the weight of this club. For me, now swing weight is overrated. Swing weight is like a leverage, is a balance. And what I say, you should utilize swing weight at the end of your fitting session to make sure you have a balanced set. But don't buy clubs based on swing weight. So buy clubs based on being dimensionally and proportionally fit. I used to play at swing weight of D5, D6. Once I got dimensionally fit, my swing weight is C9.5 to DO. But my overall weight has gone up. Check that out. My overall weight of the club has gone up, but my swing weight has came down. Being proportionally and dimensionally fit would do that. So the club feels really, really good to me, right? Here we go again. Smooth it out. That's a good one. All right. So I'm a little bit closed on my face. I'm not going to worry about that yet, because the first thing you're doing is just trying to get how the clubs feel. You don't want to be mechanical. I don't want you being mechanical once you get your clubs adjusted to being dimensionally fit and proportionally fit. I do not want you being mechanical. I just want you to have about 10, 15 swings of getting accustomed to the club. All right? There we go. Okay. Now these clubs are a half inch shorter than what I normally would play, what Mizuno and all those guys put me in, right? These are half inch shorter. Shaft is a little bit heavier than what they recommend, but for me, it works out really nice. Okay, so I can already tell that me being dimensionally fit, that my closure, what I was making with the other mistake with the other clubs, where I had to really, really close the face and try to get the place to close with more hand manipulation and forearm supination, I don't have to do that. So guess what? I'm going to start using more of a body activated motion that squares the club face, a la Mike Austin. You know, guy hit a 500-yard drive at 60 years of age, right? And that's going to get that club face and target coming back in line. So I'm already, me being dimensionally fit, I can get some hand action and wrist action out of the swing. And you know I'm a big proponent on passive hands and stable wrist. There you go. More of a body activated swing. That's what I'm talking about. Face to target, minus 1.8. Club path, plus 4.6. Face to path, 6.1. That is a true draw. You see that line go right up the line, and then draws a little bit, only 4 yards off line. That is perfect. Now you guys remember this 2 weeks ago, I was doing a drill. I still ain't told nobody what the drill was, and I was having a problem drawing the ball. The only thing I've done was just get dimensionally fit and proportionally fit, and my natural draw has come back. I'm not trying to draw the ball. All right, here we go again. More of a body activated. That ball kicked off to the right, a little hilly. I actually saw that ball kick off to the right. I got lazy with the hands. Let me tell you what I did. I didn't maintain my pelvic depth. So I early extended, we call that humping the goat, and when you do that, your hands jet out, all right? But again, remember, you're gonna hit some squirrely shots, the first couple of sessions with your clubs. Here we go. All right, starting to feel it. I have to get used to the weight of the club, so it's gonna be some things that you just gotta get accustomed to. Don't go out there and beat yourself up. Make sure you tell yourself you're gonna spend a couple of sessions getting accustomed to your clubs, the way they feel, the way they sound, the whole 9 yards. Because what I don't want you to do is try to manipulate yourself into a bad position. Because now you can actually start working on your game and say, what is my real flaw? Because you know the equipment is set for you, okay? So here we go again. There we go. A little bit of a bigger shoulder turn on that one. That's the numbers I want to see, okay? That's the numbers I want to see right there. So before being regular fit by the OEMs, you know, I would let my hands save me. I've always told people I got really good hips and I got really good hands, and I would let those save me. So I'm going to be in a position now where I can be more mechanically, fundamentally sound. I can trust that the clubs are actually fit for me. So now I can make that big shoulder turn, because before, if I make a really, really big shoulder turn, my miss was a big old slinging hook to the left. Now look at that big shoulder turn. There you go. Not bad. Okay, here we go again. Now I'm feeling the weight of the club right now. Feeling the weight of the club. All right, so you get used to that. Like I said, these clubs came in at really, really heavy for me, but I have this, that's dead center. I look at that, smoke that ball. Face was closed, though, right? Yeah, face was closed. Here we go. All right, let's fix this up a little bit. Step in the way like this, boom. You can make that big shoulder turn. Right down the middle. There we go. All day long right there. Easy motion, smooth it out there. Face the target, minus 0.6. Face the path, minus 2.2. Club path, 1.6. Averages. Face the target, minus 2.9. Face the path, minus 3.1. Club path, average is 0.2. And let's go in here, and I like spin axis, right there, put it on dynamic. There we go. So spin axis average is 3. That's good. I like to be below 4, unless I'm really curving the ball. So already I'm starting to get a feel for my clubs. Don't go out there and say, I want to see how far I can hit my 8-iron. I want to see how far I can hit my pitching wedge. Excuse me. That is the worst thing you can do. You have to get accustomed to being proportionally and dimensionally fit, all right? You know you have the power already. Let's get accustomed to our clubs. So right now I step in, boom. I feel that looks good to me. Right down the target line again. Beautiful ball. Boom. Maybe 2 yards offline, 3 yards offline. You know, this is how you're going to work into your new clubs. Even if you're not dimensionally fit and proportionally fit, if you go get a new set of clubs, I would prefer for you to start training yourself into getting your new clubs accustomed to you like this. So again, this is not just for being proportionally and dimensionally fit. This is anytime you add a new club to your bag, do not just try to hop on it and see how far you can hit it. First, get the feel of it. See if you play in the same shaft. Check the grip on it. You know, is the grip correct for you? You know, I got my grips built up with 3 wraps on the left and 2 wraps on the right hand, you know, which promotes a certain type motion, hand motion for me. It gets my hands working a little bit more together as a unit. Again, this club is a heavy club. I mean, that sweet spot is wore out in the center. I'm hitting that sweet spot. So only thing I'm having right now, a little club face angle, which I can work on that. And that's because the clubs are coming in a really, really heavy overall weight, but not too heavy for me. Not too heavy for me, all right? So here we go again. I'm starting to get a system now. I'm setting in right here. That looks good to me. Face was a little closed on that one. Actually, that wasn't even face was closed. Let's talk about that. When that happens, remember we talked about the different type of powers, right? So on that power, I had lateral power, but I didn't have rotational. So the body stalled, and once the body stalled, the arms worked around me. That's all that is. So now, as a coach, you can start actually working with the client with the issue they're having. There's no guesswork now. So I knew exactly what that was. That wasn't a club issue. That was a body issue. The body was not performing correctly. So then you can start really, really helping people because their clubs are fit correctly. So I would tell that player, I want you to feel that torso is turning around and you opening that chest, that sternum. Here we go. Oh, that was right down the target line. There we go again. I got a call, I got to take it a little bit. Right, here we go. Let's set this one up. See if we can put that same motion on the ball. A little closed again, body stop. Well, actually, you can see where my chest was. I'm over here pointing toward that corner. That's not a good motion for me. So a good drill, you can come in here and you can just do a couple shots like that. There you go. And this will be like a lesson. So now I'm working with the client. I tell the client, this is what I want you to do. I want to get your body now, because we know your clubs are fit really nice. So now let's get that body acting right. All right, club face angle. And you hit a couple shots like this until you get the number you want. Not yet. So I would have that client keep hitting balls just like this until we get that number down to like 1. That's 4. I want to get that number down to 1. There we go. All right. So now we got the client thinking, all right, that's that parallax that we talked about. You know, you felt you was lined up correctly, but you really were not, right? So even though those shots were like, you know, a little bit offline, now you have the client step in, because now you're working with motion. The client's here. He said, that feels so different. Say, this swing, let's see what's happening. And there you go. That's how you start working with the client now with better fit clubs. So now we have the client where their shoulders are more correctly. Because pressure controls your strike, shoulders control your direction. So all that time that client been playing with clubs that were ill fit for them and their shoulders were not correct. So guess what? Now we have the client stepping in. They feel they're a little bit right at the target, but actually they're not. Here we go. And you start making really big adjustments and really good movement with the client. All right. Again, shoulders. There we go. So then that's what you would have to do with that client. You would have to just keep reminding them. Like if I was, you know, in a lesson, I would tell that client, okay, they would hear me say shoulders every time right before they swing. I would tell them to set up, right? And then I would tell them shoulders, take the shoulders, make an adjustment. There you go. So now you're making progress because now that client is going to leave knowing the shoulders were the issue and they're not manipulating. The swing is getting more fluid, right? And I keep on telling them we're not swinging at 100%. We're learning at 75, 80%. Just like if you go take Kung Fu, karate, martial arts, what do? You learn the kata at a very, very slow pace, correct? And then once you learn that kata at a very, very slow pace, then you start adding speed. Golf should be the same way. So we set up one of them again. I tell the client, let's see some shoulders. I tell them, are your shoulders correct? Okay, I say make a good motion on it. There we go. Not a bad ball at all. So this is what I would say, if that's your miss, we're good to go. If your miss is 8 yards offline, we're good to go, all right? We're good to go. So then, like I say, say we got another lesson, we come in. So this lesson, we just worked on getting them what we call supervised training. So say we got another lesson that comes in. I say, okay, now we're gonna start working on your face to target. We're gonna work on that one box, all right? So that's all we would do. We would look at that one box, face to target, one box. There we go. So what the number is, and mine is plus or minus 3. I like to tell clients, face the target, minus 0.2. So that's what we would work on in that next lesson. I wouldn't work on all these 16 data points, okay? So then we would hit 10, 15 shots, just working on the face to target. That's it, one box. Hit the ground before it. That sucks. I'll throw that out as an outlier. But we don't do no retakes. That's an outlier. And that's going to happen with everybody on the lesson team. They'll come in and hit that shot and they'll try to fix something. I say, no, you just hit it. You just had a bad swing. You know, don't micromanage it. That's just a bad swing. Seve, Tiger, we see them all with bad swings, right? There we go. Remember, your goal is to get accustomed to what the clubs are doing. With these clubs having a heavier overall weight, they are closing through the strike zone a lot faster than what I'm accustomed to. So that tells me that for me, I can really attack that inside quadrant. Oh, that was it too. I hate that. And you know, I like to tell people, it's simple things. We don't have to go down the rabbit hole. Something as simple as this. A heavier club is it's having a rate of closure that's a little bit faster through the strike zone. Okay, so what are you gonna do? Are you gonna try to slow it down? No. I'm just gonna change my exit point to what it should have been anyway. Inside to square to inside, correct? So I'm looking at the inside quadrant. There we go. Beautiful ball right there. Beautiful ball, all right? And that would be like a training session that I did with someone, all right? So this is what you get when you deal with me. I come in, we work on very, very specific things. We get you to improve. And when we do use data, we actually are breaking down the individual boxes and helping you improve those. And one guy said, well, how do you know about your results? And I said, so if you come in, we're working on face to target, and you are minus 13. And when you leave the lesson, you at a -3, -4. You took off 10 points of closure on your system that day. That is results. Those are actionable results that you can actually take to the golf course, which is going to give you better consistency, less side spin. Your spin axis is going to be better. Your smash factor is going to jump up, and everything's going to be a better experience for you. And I hope this video helps you out. Like I said, it's all about when you get clubs in, make sure you actually are getting accustomed to the club instead of worrying about the distance. If you got the loft and the lie and everything still set up pretty similar to what you were doing, they just actually proportionally and dimensionally fit for you, your distance is going to be there. So don't worry about your distance. Get accustomed to how the club feels with the new dimensions that you have requested. Hey, take care, folks.